Thank you for downloading Arcane Scribe. I just want to show you real quick how you can get AI set up with your account so that you can use it within Arcane Scribe. And you may want to do this even if you choose not to use AI within the application, because this can save you money on your monthly AI subscriptions. Go over here to Edit, Preferences, AI Sources, and you'll notice there's two options here. You can connect with OpenRouter or OpenAI. These are not the same accounts that you would have with your monthly subscriptions. These are API accounts. OpenRouter allows you to connect to any LLM that's out there, whatever you want, and switch between them. You're not tied into a contract with OpenAI or just Grok or just Gemini. You can use any of them. This is really the most flexible option, and what I would recommend for most people. OpenAI, the reason you might want to use this is if you're an advanced user who already has a fine-tuned model that you want to use from them, then you can come over and set API key with them, and you'll go through the same account you went with through to set up the fine-tuned model. You'll get the API key and you can paste it in there. That's going to be more of an advanced topic for those advanced users. Most people, I'm going to recommend going with OpenRouter, and you can have both of these. You're not limited to one. And if you want to switch between them, you can use these checkboxes to determine which one you're going to see in the lists. I'm going to recommend going with OpenRouter for the first one. So go ahead and click Set API Key, then click this link. You're going to need to create an account with them. So once you've created your account, and you'll pre-fund it with $5, $10, whatever you want, and you'll find that you spend a lot less on average using these pay-as-you-go API approaches rather than the monthly subscriptions. I don't think I've used $20 worth of AI credits in a long time. It's like you would really have to be doing a lot. Once you've got your account set up, you'll go and funded, you'll come over here and you'll click Keys, and then I'll go ahead and delete this old one, and you'll hit Create API Key. You can give it a name, and optionally you can specify an amount that it can use. This is if you want to limit it for whatever reason. Personally, I just leave it blank. This allows you to continue to use it. When you run out of funds, you'll just have to come back in here to OpenRouter and fund your account, put another $5 or $10, whatever you want in there, and then you'll be able to keep using the key. If you put a credit limit on, then that API key is going to only be able to use that much money. So I'll leave it blank, hit Create, and they'll give you this big, long API key that you can use. Now, don't worry, I'm going to be deleting this after this video. But go ahead and click Copy to Clipboard, and then close this. You'll see now you've got this API key here. So come back to Arcane Scribe and paste that in, hit OK, and now it's verified that it can connect to the server. This is not verifying the API key. This just verifies the connection to the server. Hit OK, and now you can see that it's green. So we are connected to OpenRouter. We're able to use AI within the application. Let's go to Brainstorm. In here, you can see we've got a few different options. I've already favorited an AI model, and so it's popping up. I really love the Claude Sonnet 4 model. But you can come over here to look at all models, and you'll see there's hundreds of models you can choose from. So every model in existence basically is available here. This is why OpenRouter is so great. You have the flexibility to choose what model you're working with at any time. You're not locked in. If you want to use one of the Gemini models, you can type in Gemini and pick that. Say, I want to use the 2.5 flash preview. I can do that. If you want to see how much they charge, click on pricing details. And for this particular model, they're going to charge 15 cents per million input tokens and 60 cents per million output tokens. That's pretty crazy how cheap that is. You can also specify the context. This is what's really great about using a tool like Arcane Scribe, where we seamlessly integrate the AI into the application, because normally you'd have to copy and paste all the information about your characters and the scene in order to start writing with it. That's a lot of copying back and forth. This will save you countless hours Arcane Scribe will automatically recognize any character that's referenced, and it will automatically pull in all the information from the context. I've got it selected on scene. So it will pull in all of the prose from my current scene when I chat with it, and it'll know everything that's happening in here. I can also choose to get all the novel scene summaries up to this point. This will be up to, but not including the current scene. So this is really good if you want to have the AI understand everything that's happened in your novel from a summary level up to the current scene, but not including it, so that it has that backstory. You're going to give it all of the scene summaries. This is nice for some of the editorial options if you just want to get an idea of how the story's flowing. Or you can say none. If you just want to chat with the AI for this particular prompt, it'll just act like a fellow writer that you can brainstorm with. You can also include all of the prose from the chapter, all the prose from the act, all the prose from the novel. Now, for most models, I'm not going to recommend these three options. Well, chapter's probably okay, but act and novels, those, you're going to be really stressing the AI and costing yourself a lot more money than you need to. Most AI models can't even handle sticking the entire novel in the context window. Some can. Sonnet probably could. The Gemini models, those probably could. For most of them, you're going to want to use the scene and below. Once you've got the context in there, I've got it for scene. So now it knows everything that's happened so far in this scene. Like, say I forgot who Aelin was. Now I could click on Aelin here and see all the details. I probably should mention that. All these gold tags here you're seeing in the prose, these are story Bible entries. Arcane Scribe automatically recognizes all story Bible entries in the prose and in your chat, and automatically pulls their context into the conversation. So you can see here in the Story Bible tab, I've got all my world building, all my characters, places, lore, magic system, everything is in here. And so when I make a reference to it, the AI knows about it and can use it. If I wanted to know something about Aelin, I could say, I'll say, who is Aelin? If I can type. Okay. Now, obviously, I could just click here, but just for an example of what it can do. So now you've got this conversation that you started with, and you're talking about Aelin. Now, say that you've had this big, long conversation, and you want to store it and come back to it for later. Maybe you had some ideas that came out of this. You can click Save as Note, and it'll use the first couple hundred words and come up with a title for you automatically. And then you can hit OK, and now you've got a note. And say that you come back to it a day or two later and you want to chat, you want to resume that chat again, you can open up the note and send it back to chat, and it will bring it right back here to the brainstorming session. You can pick up where you left off. This is a really great way to have these long brainstorming sessions, try to figure out what's going to happen in your novel, or to evaluate maybe pain points that your novel has. Now, you'll notice that you've got different AI prompts here. You can choose between the general chat, writing coach, developmental editor, line editor, copy editor, and proofreader. Now, one caveat to notice, these are not going to replace human editors. I don't want to give you the wrong idea. They are not going to be anywhere near the quality you would get from a human editor. However, what they can do is help you to clean up your manuscript prior to submission, and that can save you a lot of money, because editors, if they get a cleaner manuscript, they're likely to charge you less money to edit that novel. So this is a really good process to go through when you're done, to make sure that your novel is cleaned up before you submit it. Even if you're a seasoned author, I still love having a writing coach to help me identify how I can improve. Now, you'll notice if you come over here to scene, this is where you write your story. If you're more the planner and you have the idea for the story, but you're not so great at writing prose and you'd like to have AI help you with that, you can certainly do that with an Arcane Scribe. You can do that through the Scene tab here. First of all, you'll need to select the point of view character. This will tell the AI which point of view to use when writing the story. And then you're also going to want to select a scene beat. This is assuming you've already set a scene beat. If not, you can just type what you want to have happen next, and it will it will follow those instructions. Either way will work. But for those of you who like to plan in advance, you can hit this plan button, and this is going to take you to the same screen you would see if you went to the corkboard for that scene. And you can see here I've got the scene summary, and I'm using the Dwight V. Swain's scene and sequel approach. You can use whatever you want to fill out the scene summary. When you've got all the information in here, then you're going to want to create scene beats. And a scene beat, for those who are not familiar with it, they are the smallest part of your scene. They are things like dialogue. You'll have a dialogue beat, you have action beats, romance beats, things like that. And they help to specify what's happening in that part of the scene. You can create these beats. I'm going to go ahead and delete all these just to show you. So if I hit new beat, I'm just going to call this, this doesn't really matter, let's say beat 1. Call it whatever you want, and then you're going to say what you want to happen in that beat. You want to be as detailed as possible. If you're going to have AI write for you, there's a couple of reasons for this. First of all, you're going to get much better results because the more constraints you place on AI, the better the prose it's going to generate. It's going to produce garbage if you just say, write about this. But if you tell it exactly what you want to happen, and the only thing is you're just not writing the prose, the AI is going to do a much better job of giving you that story that you want. The other reason for this is that this helps to preserve your artistic integrity. The AI is not running off and writing the story for you. You have specifically specified what you want to have happen in that scene, and the AI is just filling in the blanks. It's writing the prose that connects those dots. It's not going to be copying and pasting chunks from other authors' work or anything like that. You've constrained it so tightly, it doesn't have that freedom. And so here you want to be very detailed in what you would have it write. You'll put all the information in here. You can put as much or as little as you want. For the purposes of this video, I'm just going to be really quick and just say something like, kale goes to the market. I don't know what happens in the scene. Okay, and I can add another beat and give this one, beat 2, whatever. And the market is closed. Whatever. Once I'm done, I can hit OK, and then those will show up in that list. There's another option here. You'll notice we've got an AI model here, and I can choose a different AI model. Let's go with the Gemini model. We'll go to the 2.5 flash preview. And you can see we've got the scene beats prompt selected here. So I can hit auto beats. And what this is going to do, the AI is going to read the scene summary that I wrote, and it's going to come up with 10 or 12 different scene beats that describe that summary. And so now you can see what happens in this scene. As I click on these different things, this is what the AI has come up with for scene beats for this scene summary. And what you're gonna want to do is go through this very carefully, make sure that it matches what your vision is for the scene beat. And then when you're all done, go ahead and click OK. This can also help you get started and then just go in and tweak it, save you a little bit of time getting that set up. So hit OK, and now you've got something that it can write. Let's just go ahead and I'll delete the prose from that temporarily. And now if I click, well, let me check the model I want to use. So you can choose whatever model you want. Let's use the Sonnet. Let me go to all models. Let's use the Sonnet model. I really like Sonnet 4. It does a really good job of writing. Go ahead and hit write. And now AI is going to take the context. It's going to automatically recognize Kale and all the information in here, and it's going to take the previous context from the last scene that he was in and feed that into the AI along with his character information and allow it to create this scene beat. So now it's written this scene beat for you. So now if you want to write the next one, you can pick the next scene beat and you can click write again and it'll keep writing. So that's how you write with AI if you choose to do that. And let me show you another really cool AI tool that I enjoy. I tend to be a pantser, and so a lot of times I'll write my story in advance and then I have a massive cleanup afterwards. I'm trying to get better at planning my stories. Now that AI has made it so much easier, I'm doing that more often, but in the past I've been really bad at it. And so if you're a pantser like me, and maybe you just pants a few scenes here and there. So let's say that I pantsed scene 2 here, and I did not have any kind of scene summary for it. You want to have a scene summary at the end for editing so that you can go through and make sure your novel makes sense, especially for pantsers. There's 2 different options here. You've got scene beat editor, which is what we just looked at, but then you've also got the reverse outline. This, if I click on this, and you can use whatever you want, we'll use Gemini, it's nice and cheap. And go ahead and hit OK. This is going to read my scene and then give me a scene summary from that scene. Hopefully, this is giving you a good idea of how to use Arcane Scribe. One other thing, you can favorite models. So say that I really like Sonnet 4, which I do. You can favorite this model, and now it will show up in your favorites list. And by default, once you favorite a model, when you go to the tab where you favorited that model, it will default to show favorites, and it'll have your favorite model pulled up. So you don't have to set it every single time. And everywhere that you see one of these AI model selectors, you could have a different favorite model. Because you notice I was switching back and forth between Gemini and Sonnet, because Gemini is a lot cheaper. So I like to use Gemini for things like writing my reverse outlines or helping me to create my characters, things like that. And then when it comes to writing prose, I love to use Sonnet 4. Oh, that's another thing, let me show you. When you are creating your characters, you go to your story Bible, you can come over here and you can specify the name, the aliases. One thing to note here, you notice how Kale has his name in gold here. It's because it recognized his entry here, Kale Varen. But if this is the name the character is known by, this name tab. So if I put Bob Hackett, whatever. If I put Bob Hackett in here, then I would have to type Bob Hackett in my prose for it to recognize this. That's not ideal. Most people don't type the full name of their character every time they reference them. And so for most of your characters, it's going to be beneficial to have both their full name here, as well as some aliases, just Bob. So that if I see Bob in the prose, the AI recognizes it, that it belongs to this Bible entry. So if it recognizes either Bob or Bob Hackett, it'll both of those will come in there. And you can use a common delimited list of as many as you want. And then if it recognizes any of these names, it'll pull Bible entry. You'll notice this autofill button. This is why I brought you here, because this is controlled by AI. So this is really nice for like lit RPG authors. Say that you want to fill in all your character information, but you want just a random assortment of strength, intelligence, dexterity, stuff like that. You can fill in your information however you want, select your AI model, and then you can hit autofill, and any field in this entire dialogue that's not entered, it will automatically fill that in for you. You might be wondering how I got all this formatting in there. You can change your Bible entry template however you want. You don't have to use mine. You can come over here to edit, preferences, go to character sheet template, and this is where you can place it. I go for person, place, item, lore, and you can copy and paste into here. I just created these with all this font and everything. I just created these right here in the scene editor. You've got all your font controls, make it as nice as you want, copy it, paste it in there, and then that'll be the template you use going forward. I hope this has been helpful for you. Thank you for watching.